Good morning, Watershed. Thank you for being here with us this morning. Why don't you stand up if you're able and sing a couple songs with us. Let this first song ground you in the space. Take a minute to breathe, be present. Let the words of this song reorient you to who we are, what we value as a community. And blessed are the ones who do not bury all the broken pieces of their heart. Blessed are the tears of all the weary, pouring like a sky of fallen stars.
Blessed are the wounded ones in mourning, brave enough to show the Lord their scars. Blessed are the hurts that are not hidden, open to the healing touch of God. The kingdom is yours. The kingdom is yours. Hold on a little more. This is not the end. Hope is in the Lord. Let our hearts tune in. Blessed are the ones who are walk in kindness, even in the face of great abuse. Blessed are the deeds that go unnoticed, serving with unguarded gratitude.
Blessed are the ones who fight for justice, longing for the coming day of peace. Blessed is the soul that thirsts for righteousness, welcoming the last, the lost, the least. The
Kingdom is yours. The kingdom is yours. Hold on a little more. This is not the end. Hope is in the Lord. Lean your hearts on Him.
Blessed are the ones who suffer violence and still have strength to love their enemies. Blessed is the faith of those who persevere. Though they'll fall, they'll never know defeat.
The kingdom is yours. The kingdom is yours. Hold on a little more. This is not the end. Hope is in the Lord. Keep your eyes on Him. The kingdom is yours. The kingdom is yours. Hold on a little more. This is not the end. Hope is in the Lord. Keep your eyes on Him. Hold on a little more. This is not the end. Hope is in the Lord. Keep your eyes on Him.
my past embrace, my fear integrated. I'm blameless in your sight, my history rewritten. Sing that again. My past embrace, my fear integrated.
judgment. You delight in showing mercy, and mercy triumphs over judgment.
Thank you for singing with us. These songs are who we are as a community, who we are as a people, but the values, the principles, theology, doesn't matter if we don't implement it, if we don't actually connect with each other and put it to work and make these words actually mean something, come to life. So take a minute, say hi to somebody next to you, make somebody feel welcome this morning.
All right. Good morning, Watershed. That's what I'm talking about. Love this energy. Would love to just let it linger a little bit longer, but it's time to get going this morning. I'm so glad you're here. My name is Matt, and I'm the lead pastor here at Watershed. Hi, Kim. Hey, Kim, I think I got this, okay? Jeez. You're going to be up here in a minute, okay? You're going to have your turn, I promise, all right? Hey, I'm so glad you're here. There are so many things that we've got in store coming up here in the next several weeks in June. I want to just kind of give you an opportunity to know about those. Before we head into that, though, if you're brand new with us and you feel comfortable doing so, there is a virtual connection card that we would love for you to engage and just give us a little more information about how you found your way here, maybe some things that you might be interested in participating in. If you follow the QR code, it takes you to a page where there's a button that says connection card, and that's how you can access this virtual connection card. And at some point, I can say connection card too much, I suppose, this morning. But this is really helpful for us. It helps us to get to know you a little bit, but then also it helps us kind of understand how people are moving towards us these days. We have people that come from all over Charlotte. I was talking with Kim this morning about all these different pockets within the greater Mecklenburg County area, all the way into some of these other counties that drive over and want to experience what's happening here on a weekend. So we're really appreciative that you're here. And again, if you're a guest, welcome. We're honored to have you. And if you can kind of help us get to know you better, that'd be great. Regardless if this is your first Sunday or your 20th Sunday or whatnot, there's some things coming down the pike that we'd love to make you aware of. One is a book club that meets here on Sunday mornings called Before Sundays. You like that name? Before Sundays at 9 o'clock. And this gets started. They take a break every now and then, but the next one gets started, I believe, next Sunday on the 7th. Brian Recker, who is a friend of Watershed, an author and an activist, social influencer, is the author of a book called Hellbent. And so they're going to spend several weeks kind of processing some of the doctrine or theology or philosophy around how that phrase or that idea of hell has impacted not just the church, but then some of the spiritual mental health issues that it creates in our lives or have created. So it's a wonderful discussion, great people from 9 to 10 a.m., 10:15. And if you register, they'll send you some information more on that as the week progresses. And also on June 20th is another rendition of something we call the Greenway Project. And it's a group of folks that look at, or that take time, spend time throughout the course of the year, occasionally showing up to the Greenway or some of the creekways and helping clear that of debris. Some of our neighbors in some of our neighborhoods nearby or not so nearby use the Greenway as a way of having recreation and fun. And so we're just kind of trying to love our neighbor well by doing this, but then also taking care of creation to boot. And so if you're interested in that, there's a way of signing up. And then June 27th, which is it's kind of far down the road, but it's not too early to start talking about this. KJ Ramsey, who is an author and does some work at the intersection of mental health and then advocacy for those with disabilities. She's written a book. I think it's The Place Between Our Pains is beautiful description of kind of her journey in some of these areas. But she's going to be here over the course of a weekend partnering with one of our ministry partners, ICU Talks. Yeah. And so I'm going to say this really quick, but it's worth following the QR code to kind of get the deeper dive on this. But on Friday evening at Park Road Book Club, there we go, book shop. Am I saying that? Bookstore, thank you. Jeez Louise. Book something. What's the place that they sell the books? So there's a live podcast that Kim is going to be doing actually with KJ at that location. I think she's going to sign some books. Then Saturday night, there's something called a Moth event with ICU Talks that is here. And that's just sort of this communal story sharing time that's just really powerful. So she's going to be a part of that. And then Sunday morning, she's going to be here at Watershed. So this is a big deal, somebody that we wouldn't necessarily have access to, but thanks to ICU Talks, we're going to be able to roll all this together and kind of culminate it on Sunday morning. We talk about pursuing, finding kinship, and then pursuing growth as a way of moving towards transformation, moving through the process of a changed life. And so if you're taking that seriously, you've got a whole weekend that you could begin to engage something that literally would move the needle in some way, shape, or size in your life. So I want to make you aware of that. And then I think the next thing has something to do with, our Shed students. So I'm really excited about this. Our Shed students are going to Asheville, North Carolina later in June, and they're going to spend 4 days, and they're going to be working with a disaster relief organization. I don't know if you've been following the news, but there was more rain, more flooding. I think this is going to be an ongoing thing, at least for the unforeseeable future. But our students are going to spend some time with that organization learning a lot about what is happening in that region in terms of climate and then the effects it's having on our neighbors up in Asheville. And then they're going to actually help do some disaster relief work along the side. They're also going to do some team building and then unapologetic fun, as you can see. Their target goal to raise enough money to do this trip for 4 days is about $5,000, all right? And a couple of Sundays ago, you guys responded in just a powerful way. I think it was like $1,200 or $1,300 came in one day. And we're about maybe $900 away from these students reaching this goal. They're downstairs doing their thing this morning. And so if you have it in you this morning, you have a little, financial margin, you could help them out. You follow the QR code, there's a drop-down menu, and would love to land the plane in that particular category over the next week or two and send them off in grand fashion. And then lastly, I was telling our volunteers this morning, Monday is a big deal in this space, a week from Monday, rather. For the past 18 months, Kelsey Smith has been our part-time greenhouse pastor, and because of the generous response of this community over the last 6 to 8 weeks, she is now going to be able to transition into a full-time role, and Monday, June 8th, is her first day with us, and I am so freaking excited. I mentioned this before, but because we have only a couple full-time people and then everyone else is part-time, Gang, we've only had one staff meeting in January or in 2026. Only one staff meeting. It's a miracle that things get done around here, but it's a testimony to how hard our volunteers and our staff and our teams work. But we need this to happen, and we're about $2,000 away from really being able to do it right. And so, if you're brand new and you're wondering, all right, what's a good time to jump into monthly or weekly giving here? Now's the time. If you've been around for a while and you're able to maybe look at your financial but your budgets for the rest of this year and moving into 2027, and there's a gentle to robust increase that you'd be willing to consider. We'd love to see this happen by the end of June as she's coming on board. But we're super excited, and our families, our kids, it's going to have a huge impact on them, not to mention our entire staff. David and I were talking last week how fun it's going to be to have a staff meeting this week, that week. It's just going to be so much fun. So thank you for all of the generosity that does flow this way. Thank you for being here this morning. Oh, I'm sorry, one other thing. Is Second Sunday in there? If it's not, it should be. 2 weeks from today, if you're brand new, yeah, there it is, Second Sunday, I almost forgot that one. If you're brand new and you just want to hear a little bit more about Watershed, kind of wet your whistle or dip your toe in the water, so to speak, our staff is going to spend a little time after the second Sunday of June, and would love to have you be a part of that as well. Thanks for being here this morning, and may the rest of your day just be filled with joy. Thanks.
You're giving me a million reasons to let you go. You're giving me a million reasons to quit the show. You're giving me a million reasons, giving me a million reasons, giving me a million reasons, about a million reasons. If I had a highway, I would run for the hills. If you could find a dry way, I'd forever be still. But you're giving me a million reasons, giving me a million reasons, giving me a million reasons, about a million reasons. I bow down to pray. I try to make the words seem better. Lord, show me taking back what was lost, finding out what I want, a need for fighting, a new hope is rising. It's where I can't let go, behind any storm, the perfect shelter, until the days get better. It's like an island when I grow tired, the best place I know, 'cause it feels like home. It feels like home. It feels like home. It feels like home. 'Cause it feels like home. It feels like, yeah, it feels like home.
Well, good morning, Watershed. Good morning. Maybe the best bumper that Matt's ever done. It's really good. Well, good morning. I'm glad to be with you. It is so good to see all of you. I am Larissa's wife, also commonly known as Kim Honeycutt. I'm part of the teaching team here, but in real life, as most of you know, I am a psychotherapist. So if you're new here and you hear a flavor of psychotherapy and theology, then you are correct. That is what I do, and that's what you hear throughout this talk. And we are in a new series. We're in the third week of a new series, Thy Kingdom Come. And Cedric kicked it off for us, this new series, and he heard it. So, obviously it's about kinship and it's about connection, but for him it was about friendship. And then Matt and David spoke last week and talked about the history of relationships with Watershed and projection of where we're going. And David talked a little bit about chosen family. And that's how I hear this series to be about chosen family. And the thing with chosen family, who we choose to have in our lives today, is that it actually starts with our family of origin. It gets influenced by that. For some of us, that's not the best news whatsoever, but it does start with your family of origin. So I decided to ask the teaching team and the band members if they would provide me, for y'all, some of their family of origin pictures to see where they started from, and a few of them said yes to that. So we're going to play a game. We're going to play Name the White Person in the Picture game. That's what we're doing. So they're all white. Only white people responded to me. The black people, part of us, are too busy advocating. They didn't have time to send me pictures. Can I get an amen? Thank you. So, the very first picture. Let's go. Let's guess who this white person is. Whose family is this? Who do you think this is? Or David? Matt? All right, let's see. Let's show the chosen family today picture. This is Matt. This is Matt with Donna and their beautiful adult children. That is his chosen family. So, it's so sweet, right? All right, very good. We're going to do the next family of origin picture. Let's put the next one up. All right, I'm going to give you a second. Who's this? Austin? Okay, not only is it Austin, it's also Graham. Graham is the really cool guy with his hat on backwards playing guitar. That Austin and Graham are brothers, and the woman Kelsey you just heard about that we're begging y'all for money to keep her off the streets, give her a job. Graham is married to her. So this is a whole family thing we got going on right here. So that's Austin Smith and his brother Graham. So show the adult picture. That's Austin's and Emily and their absolutely amazing family, his chosen family. All right, let's do the next one, please. All right, who is this? I heard David. David? All right, let's see if you're right. Chosen family, yeah. That's David with Amy and their beautiful children. That's who that is. So listen, I don't have a family picture to show you. Wherever people went, JCPenney, Sears, Service Merchandise. You remember Service Merchandise? Anybody? Yeah, okay. So wherever people went for a picture, we were not going to go. We did not go. It didn't happen. There was never a family vacation. Everyone was together at the same time to have their picture taken. So I don't have a family picture from my childhood. But I can give you one memory, just one memory from my childhood that will give you a depiction, a clear picture of my family. All right, so here's my one story I'm going to share with you. So when I was 15 years old, there was a young man named Brian who moved to my small town. So he was new, so I was talking to him, getting to know him. And he told me that he was the son of Satan. And I thought, that's marriage material right there. In this small town, this is who I should be with. So that very day, I ran away with him. This is true, right. I ran away to Salty Daisy, Tennessee. Give it up for Salty Daisy, Tennessee. They got a lot of dope there. That's all I know. That's all I remember. But I ran away with Brian, the son of Satan, to Salty Daisy, Tennessee. All right. So when I got caught and came back, and they brought me back home, I walk in the door, 15 years old. My mom said, "Who gave you permission to run away?" English is not her first language. We're going to give her a little bit of a pass. My brother said, "Because you took all of Dad's money, I couldn't take my girlfriend out." And my dad started to cry when he saw me. Do you want to talk about mixed messages and confusing messages that we get from family, the different messages that we get? And so I want to talk today about how we're influenced by the messages we got from our family of origin, how that goes in to chosen family. I want to look at this through the lens of the Beatitudes in the Sermon on the Mount. Because I think Jesus, through that, gives us a beautiful way of how to bring choice into who we are, who God says we are, and who gets to be in our lives today. And I think we need some guidance with this. Because we have a lot of messages, and one type of message that a lot of us get are called double-bind messages. Okay, double-bind message was termed by a man named Gregory Bateson in 1956. And before I tell you exactly what it is, let me tell you the types of relationships that this happens in. It usually happens in a relationship, there's a hierarchy, there's a subordinate, there's somebody who can't get away, they're powerless in some sense. So it happens in parent-child, it happens in boss-employee, it can happen spouse to spouse, and it very much happens in pastors to congregations. All right, so with that understanding, let me put on the screen and show you and tell you what a double-bind message is. Double-bind is a psychological predicament where an individual receives conflicting, contradictory messages from a single source, like a pastor, a mom, a dad, typically within a significant relationship, making it impossible to satisfy both demands. Whichever option the receiver chooses, they are wrong, resulting in no-win scenarios that cause anxiety, confusion, and emotional paralysis. That's double-bind. And I'm going to give you a plethora of examples, but as you hear these examples, don't you remember this, that most double-bind messages revolve around what we call the 4 Ps. And that's productivity, perfectionism, performance, and people-pleasing. And then these 4 things are taught by the person who is in authority as if that is the actual thing that makes it the relationship, that you have to do this something performative for you to actually be in the relationship instead of learning what it means to be yourself in a relationship. All right, here's an example with a parent. And really, being a parent is very hard. I don't recommend it whatsoever. Don't do it. But in case you do, here's an example of double-bind message with a parent. And that is a parent tells a child, like, I need you to be more independent. I need you to make your own choices. Child makes their own choices, and then the parent punishes for the choice that the child made. All right, here's a work example, and this is a real-life work example that someone shared with me. That the CEO sent an email to everyone in the company and said, because of the outrageous gas prices, you can work from home. So she's a single mom. So for 2 weeks, she worked from home until she got an email from the CEO saying, I need you to give me a full account of why you're not here at work doing your job these past 2 weeks. That's a double-bind message. It's a real example. And this is with a spouse. This is not a real example from my life. This is just an example for you people. That is You have a partner that says you never share your emotions. And then you do, and then they're angry because you shared your crazy emotions. Again, I don't know anything about this. I read this on Wikipedia. Just saying. All right, so here's where it gets really hard, everybody. If your family of origin has certain messages, and then you've got a church family, and they overlap, and they're giving you the same message wherever you go, you get the same message. Because there's a lot of double-blind messages within the church, and that seeps into so many families onto children. Here's an example of one that you are in a church, you're in a family, and you're told, we love you unconditionally, Chris. We love you unconditionally, with the one condition that you know you have to earn your love from us. You have to have good behavior to earn your love, but we love you unconditionally. To be told that you were born into original sin and there's nothing good in you and never will be, except you better have good behavior. That's a double-blind message that we get in many churches. And as a psychotherapist, what comes into my office so much are people, especially with religious trauma, as they come in and tell me part of why it's hard for them to be there and be in therapy and examine what's going on with them is that they were told that psychology would keep them from Jesus. Can we have a collective eye roll at that, please? Everyone, just roll your eyes. I'm here, girl. I'm doing it. Let's go. Love you, Melissa. All right, so let me give you a definition of psychology, this thing that's going to keep you from Jesus. You ready? Put it on screens. Okay. This is what psychology is, y'all. It's a scientific study of the mind and behavior, encompassing conscious and unconscious. It's an understanding of what is happening consciously and unconsciously in our minds that affect and drive our behavior. It's you having a deeper understanding of what's happening unconsciously that consciously affects your behavior and who you are. Y'all, this is what people are taught will keep them away from Jesus. This type of teaching is the very reason why we grow up and we need a chosen family. That we need to be around people who will help us heal from this type of hurt. And most of us can't be in the same place with the same people and heal from what we have been through. And for Larissa and I, Watershed has been such a part of our emotional and spiritual template, our healing. And I know that Watershed wants to stay on this trajectory, on this path, this way of being able to help all of us to be able to heal and have a safe place and be able to have connection. And I think one way to do that is have a good understanding of a psychological concept called repetition compulsion. Okay, now, this is going to make David Roberts very happy. Because this is a Freudian concept. Y'all know I don't like Freud. Matt likes Freud because they went to high school together. David's got some connection to Freud. But I will say, repetition compulsion is the only good thing that Freud did for the world of psychology, in my non-humble opinion. All right? So, let me tell you what it is. I think this could be very helpful. This is the official definition, repetition compulsion. It is an unconscious psychological mechanism where individuals repeatedly reenact painful past traumas, relationships, or situations. This phenomenon drives people to recreate negative scenarios in a subconscious attempt to gain agency, find closure, or fix the original unresolved hurt. It means we keep repeating painful situations from our past. Y'all, we are unconsciously recreating, especially early relational wounds and relational attachment environments. And not because we like it. And I'm going to interrupt myself for a second because I want you to hear this very, very clearly. That if you have ever been abused by someone, if you've ever been in a marriage or a relationship with someone, with a narcissist, been tethered to someone who does not treat you well and has abused you, the only person responsible for that abuse is the person who abused you. And that is it. Repetition compulsion is not to give you the idea that somehow you gravitated towards someone who hurt you and you had a part in that. You do not. No one ever deserves to be abused, ever. But we recreate things that are painful from our past. Again, it's not that we like it whatsoever. But our brain and our autonomic nervous system is trying to resolve the unresolved. It's trying to finish what is unfinished. There's parts of our life we're looking for resurrection. We're looking for the renewal. But without awareness, without psychological information, we just keep creating the same ending. We deepen the groove, which means like our neural pathways may have been there for years, even decades, just get reinforced. See, some of us don't move towards what is good for us. We move towards what's familiar. And it's so familiar, we call it belonging. We confuse belonging and familiarity with security, intensity with intimacy, being chosen with being safe, tolerance with love, having a productive role in a relationship as if it is a relationship. And you know, at a subconscious level, your brain doesn't look at a person or a group of church people and think, is this person healthy? Is this a group of healthy people? It says, is this known? Is this what I'm already familiar with? Your limbic system, which I'm sure you already know this, is your amygdala, your fear center, hippocampus memory, that's together with your limbic system, with your autonomic nervous system. Y'all, it organizes around predictability, not truth, not love, and not even belonging. So if at some point belonging for you was walking on eggshells, performing to be accepted, being quiet to be safe, hyper-focused on what everybody else in the room needed, was feeling and experiencing while neglecting yourself, I think you got taught belonging in a way that as if you were taught actually self-abandonment as if it was self. You were taught codependency as if it was Christianity. You were taught obligation to others as if that was a calling. But there is good news. There is good news. And that is where the Beatitudes from the Sermon on the Mount comes in. I truly believe how I read this, and not anybody else has to hear it the same way. I feel like this is Jesus giving us a process, permission to step out of repetition, compulsion, double-bind messages, to walk away what we initially were taught, and to be able to step into true belonging. So I'm going to read this to you. I'm not even going to tell you I'm going to try to behave because you know I can't. So I'll do my best. All right, this is Beatitudes. And it's just parts of it. It's not all of it. I strongly suggest you go read all of it. When Jesus saw his ministry drawing huge crowds, he climbed a hillside. Those who were apprenticed to him, the committed. Anybody here ever been committed to a mental institution or treatment center? Me. We're in the Bible. Look at us, the committed. Look at that. Be proud. We're in the Bible. All right. Climbed with him. Arriving at a quiet place, Jesus sat down and taught his climbing companions. And this is what he said. He said, you're blessed. And y'all, blessed means spiritual well-being. It's your inner state of well-being. You're blessed when you're at the end of your rope. With less of you, there is more of God and God's rule. You're blessed when you feel you've lost what is most dear to you. Only then can you be embraced by the one most dear to you. You're blessed when you care. At the moment of being careful, you find yourselves cared for. You're blessed when you get your inside world, your mind and your heart put right. Then you see God in the outside world. Not only that, count yourself blessed every time people put you down or throw you out or speak lies about you to discredit me. I mean, come on. I mean, y'all are just blessed. Y'all are dripping blessings for a little while, maybe since 2024. Y'all are blessed. What it means is that the truth is too close for comfort, and they are uncomfortable. You can be glad when that happens, give a cheer even, for they don't like it, but I do. And all heaven applauds and know that you are in good company. Our prophets and witnesses have always gotten into this kind of trouble. This is good trouble. So let me break this down. So I want to look at 3 and 4. You're blessed when you're at the end of your rope. Blessed if there's more of God and God's rule. And you're blessed you feel you've lost what's most dear to you. See, I think this climbing, means that we're climbing towards something that's higher than what we already know. There's an unlearning. And that so many of us have been taught productivity, performance, perfectionism. We've been taught that these are just strategies. We've been taught that we have to lean into that in order to be good enough to be loved. And maybe this is Jesus telling us, in order for us to feel like we are endearing to God and feel like God's presence, there's a sense of having to get rid of the strategies that actually keep us out of the relationship. But we initially got taught this is the most of the relationship that you can have. I think there's a possibility the more we learn to not just have to be productive and performative and perfect in a relationship, the more that we get to the end of the rope of that, the more we hit bottom with that and let that go, that we get to experience God in a more robust way. And 7, you're blessed when you care. At the moment of being careful, you find yourselves cared for. See, I think this is getting to the end of the rope of people-pleasing, the codependency, the fawning. How many of us have been taught that if you care for others, somehow it supplements care for you? See, I think being full of being cared for, knowing what it means to allow people to be there for you and care for you, I think that is the essence of being cared for, and then we can care for other people. There's a sense of learning how to not be there for somebody because you're trying to prove your worth, instead of learning to be there for somebody because you just know you're worthy. That's what it means to be careful. And then 8, you're blessed when you get your inside world, your mind and heart put right. Then you see God in the outside world. See, this is the work. This is the climbing. This is how we create new neural pathways to believe we're worthy of more than what we've already experienced in other relationships. And we stop working so hard to get external validation because we are internally aligned. And when other people don't see in us what we know God put in us, we don't sway from that truth. We just let them be where they are, but we don't move. See, this is about working to experience God in a higher way. This is a Christ consciousness. This is a higher consciousness. This is getting that you are worthy of God residing within, and that we don't have to earn our place in relationship with God. See, I think the Sermon on the Mount outlines the characteristics of kingdom, that this is about true belonging. You know, I can't talk about belonging without acknowledging the incredible research work that Dr. Brene Brown has done. And so I couldn't even reduce it to just even one quote for you. I have 2 different quotes I want to read to you that she shared. True belonging is a spiritual practice of believing in and belonging to yourself so deeply that you can share your most authentic self with the world. And that's from Brave in the Wilderness. The next one. True belonging doesn't ask us to change who we are. It requires us to be who we are. See, to be who we are can require us to find a chosen family, people who already see the Beatitudes in you, already see the good in you, so they can sit with us as we slowly learn how to walk away from what is familiar to us. How to step out of these repetition compulsions. And I want you to know, repetition compulsion is not a death sentence. It's not even a diagnosis. And there are ways that we can reframe this. As a matter of fact, that there are 2 psychiatrists that I have great respect for, and that is Dr. Harville Hendricks and his wife, Dr. Helen Hunt. Y'all, they took Freud's repetition compulsion and they shifted it, they revised it, they reframed it, and they put it in a way that allows us to really figure out what's called our imago. And they coined this term imago. You know, imago means it's your unconscious familiarity, your unconscious image with familiar love. And then how do we make this conscious? And we have a chart just for y'all to see, and I won't go through each part of it, but I really think this chart can really help y'all know that repetition compulsion can become an actual activity, a way of finding kinship, finding connection. Because when there is consciousness, when there is psychology brought in to your relationship with yourself, with Jesus, with others, when you have awareness of what is happening, it can go from I choose to repeat this pain So like, oh, I consciously choose this person to help heal my pain and theirs. Whether you do that with a spouse, you do that with a sponsor, you do that with a therapist, you do that with a pastor, just knowing that there are people out there that are healthy enough that it's no longer about repeating our past, it is about a new future that can be carved with the right person to help us to heal. We can choose people to help heal our pain. I'm going to read to you Mark 3 through 31 through 35. And David set this up for me a little bit last week, which I appreciate. It's just such powerful scripture. Then Jesus' mother and brothers arrived. Standing outside, they sent someone in to call him. A crowd was sitting around him. And they told him, your mother and brothers are outside looking for you. Who are my mother and my brothers? Jesus asked. Then he looked at those seated in a circle around him and said, here are my mother and my brothers. Whoever does God's will is my brother and sister and mother. See, this scripture was the actions of Jesus the last week of his life before he was crucified. The last week, Jesus intentionally, biblical scholars say, he intentionally spent it with Lazarus, Mary, and Martha. That scripture with his actions for the last week, that's not Jesus rejecting his family. That is Jesus redefining belonging. He's saying we are not limited to the connections that formed us. We are invited into connections that will actually heal us. And chosen family is not a rejection of where we came from. It is a courageous decision to build relationships where our heart and our mind and our nervous system can be put right. To be in a relationship where you don't have to earn love. You just get to know that you are lovable. Or imago, the unconscious familiarity of love now becomes God's image. Thy kingdom come. I want you to know that I choose my biological family today. I love my parents. I never thought I'd be able to say that we are a connected family today. But I got there through having a lot of subgroups, chosen families throughout the years, being around people who actually believed in me, being around people who saw in me what I could not see. I could see the Beatitudes in them. I could see that they were full of care. I could see the relationship went beyond just being performative, but I couldn't see it in myself, and I stayed with subgroups of people, chosen family, until they were able to breathe life and truth into me, and what was familiar to me now became unfamiliar to me. And at the beginning, I said I don't have a picture of my family, but I do have a picture of my chosen family. Put that up, please. It's y'all. It's y'all. You're my imago. You are God's image for me. So you've been given some of you have been given a million reasons to walk away from your family. Many of you have been given a million reasons to walk away from the church. I think all of us, through these horrible messages, have been given a million reasons to walk away from our true self. But all of you have found at least one good reason to be here as yourself in a spiritual community. And I can't tell you how grateful I am that you have found that one good reason to be here and be part of Alyssa and my spiritual healing. I couldn't be more grateful for all of you. So let me pray. God, I thank you. I thank you that we are allowed to gather here as ourselves. We are called in to relationships that we don't have to perform. We don't have to be perfect. We don't have to say or do the right thing. We were just invited into relationships that heal us, that call us into who you say we are. God, I pray for every person here that's gotten some type of message from family, from a boss, from anybody that tells them they are unworthy of your love. I thank you that there's nothing we can do to step away from the fact that you called us worthy, and that is just the truth. But will you show us how to step into that a little bit more? Will you highlight the people in all of these people's lives that will be the one that will help them go from just recreating pain to now creating renewal, resurrection, a renewed sense of self? I thank you that I am just so aware of the pain that's in this room. How many people have been told because of sexual orientation, gender orientation, because of race, because of preferences, because of so many things, or that they aren't enough to be in your presence. And I thank you so much that is not the truth. I thank you that they are here seeking beyond what they were told that they were worth. That is your power, and that is the power of thy kingdom come. And I pray all this in the name of Jesus. Amen. Thank you all. Love you.
Why don't you stand up with us if you're able and sing one more song? You might be in a place where you can sing this song and mean it and sing it from your soul and sing it over the people in this room. And if you're in a spot to receive this song, then let it be sung over you. But we want to be a place with a crowded table, that we're all part of this family, all part of this community.
Everyone's a little broken.
you that the table here seems to keep growing. Thank you that there's a garden where seeds are being planted here at Watershed. And may the things that grow in our life, may the space that we create not only expand our inner world, our inner life with you, but then also may it ripple outside of ourselves into a world that is just longing for a picture of what grace and compassion and care and healing look like. We're so grateful for what we have together here, God. Thank you for this morning. Thank you for Kim. Thank you for all the different elements that brought this morning together in such a beautiful way, and it's in Christ's name. Amen. Hey, please don't rush off. Take your time, linger. There's people that you probably met as you were kind of moving through the morning, but go in peace. Thank you for being here.
Thank